So guys, in the previous class, we had finished with our first exercise, and let me do a small recap of the factorization concept that we studied in the last class also, so that it becomes easy for us to apply today. Now the first question is, when do we have to apply the factorization problem, or how do we identify whether we will have to do the factorization in a certain question or not? So the simple idea is, substitute given value of limit directly in the function. So when you directly substitute the value in the function can be generally fx upon gx, and if gx on substitution gives you 0, becomes 0. Now when we say becomes 0, it means that it becomes something called as indeterminate. I had told you in the last lecture about this indeterminate function. A function is said to be an indeterminate function if the denominator of that function or of that element becomes 0, because division by 0 is not defined. Therefore, if the function becomes, or the denominator becomes 0, that function is called as an indeterminate function. So when you come across this situation that on substitution the denominator is becoming 0, in such a case you will have to do the factorization. That is the basic point that we need to remember before starting to solve the next exercise. It's very simple exercise, guys. When you talk about fx and gx, they both will be polynomial functions. Fx and gx, they both will be polynomial functions. Mostly these functions will be either quadratic or it will be a linear function. Very simple questions or very simple function we have to look in the coming exercise. But before directly going and starting the exercise, let me give you a small example, a small idea how we have to solve this particular question. Suppose if I have a question, limit as x tends to 3, x square minus 9 upon x minus 3, a very simple sum, that is, as my condition says, substitute the given value of the limit directly in the given function. What is the given value of the limit, guys? It is 3. So in the numerator, if I substitute, I will get over here 3 square minus 9. In the denominator, if I substitute, I will get 3 minus 3. I don't have to worry about the numerator, what is coming out to be the value of numerator. It is irrespective, it is immaterial. But if I see the denominator, this is becoming 0. Now because denominator is becoming 0, direct application of limit is not possible in this sum. Because direct application of limit is not possible, therefore guys, what you have to do is you have to factorize it. Obviously, what should we factorize? The numerator. Because numerator that I have over here, which is x square minus 9, I can assume it as in the form of a square minus b square, which is a plus b into a minus b. So therefore guys, over here this will become limit as x tends to 3, x plus 3 into x minus 3. I am sure you can recognize that 9 is 3 square, so straight away I am writing x plus 3, x minus 3 divided by x minus 3. So guys, as soon as I do the factorization, I can see that I come across a common factor. What is the common factor? If I am given limit as x tends to a of fx upon gx, always the common factor is x minus a. This common factor has to be getting cancelled in the numerator and the denominator. As soon as you cancel the common factor, guys, you have to write a very small reason over there. The reason goes like this: x tends to 3 over here, so I will write x tends to 3. Obviously x is not equal to 3, and therefore x minus 3 is not equal to 0. Guys, that is our main intention of doing this step, that x minus 3 is not equal to 0, because if x minus 3 becomes 0, we won't be able to factorize it at all. It will be of no use, because on substitution it should not become 0. That is what we want. Therefore, I am cancelling the factor and also writing the reason saying that x minus 3 is not 0. Now, as soon as, guys, you do the common factor cancellation, the last thing that you have to do is apply the limit and you are done. Obviously, you know the meaning of applying limit. You have to substitute the limit value in the function. So it says it is now 3 plus 3, which becomes equal to 6. So that is the way you will be solving all the questions which you come across of the form of fx upon gx, where fx and gx, they both are algebraic or polynomial or quadratic or linear. Whatever you say, the meaning is the same. So let's continue with the first question of this exercise. It says over here that limit as z tends to 2, z square minus 5z plus 6 divided by z square minus 4. So in that case, as I did in the previous example, I will do the substitution of the limit in my rough work. So I will get 2 square 4 minus 5 into 2, that is 10, plus 6 divided by 2 square, that is 4 minus 4. Now I don't have to worry about the numerator. Whatever happens over there, let it happen. I have to just be conscious about my denominator. This is becoming 0. Because the denominator is becoming 0, therefore you have to definitely go and factorize it. I have factorized the numerator as well as the denominator in this particular case. In the previous example that we had taken, we did not factorize the denominator because the denominator was just a simple linear function over there. But here you will need to factorize the numerator and denominator both. So let's do that. It will become equal to limit as z tends to 2, z square minus 3z minus 2z plus 6 divided by z square minus 2 square. Obviously, guys, in this case the common factor is going to be z minus 2 in the numerator and denominator, for which we are doing this factorization. This will be equal to limit as z tends to 2, z into z minus 3 minus 2 multiplied by bracket z minus 3 divided by z plus 2 multiplied by z minus 2. Numerator, you just have to do one step to get the required common factor. Denominator already has that common factor in the above step, if you see that. So now, guys, I get z plus 2 and z minus 2. So now just cancel the common factor and write the reason as I told you in the beginning. Since z tends to 2, z is obviously not equal to 2, and hence z minus 2 is not equal to 0. As soon as I can see that I have cancelled off the common factor, my next step is applying limit. So guys, if I apply limit over here, I will get 2 minus 3 upon 2 plus 2. We are not worried if the answer is negative or positive. I just want that the denominator should be a non-zero number, which I am getting in this case. So I can say that my work is correct. So once again guys, in the same way, I will try to substitute the value of x as minus 3 in my rough work, and I will check if the denominator is becoming 0 or not. Numerator does not matter. If it becomes 0, does not matter. If it does not becomes 0, still it's okay. So over here, it will become minus 3 square, which is going to be positive 9, plus 4 into negative 3, that is going to be negative 12, and then again plus 3. So yeah guys, the denominator is becoming 12 minus 12, which is 0. Because denominator is becoming 0, therefore in that case, I can say that I have to factorize the denominator. Numerator need not be factorized because it is again a simple linear function given to us over here. So I will write it like this. Limit x tends to negative 3. The factors are very simple in this case. X square plus 3x plus x plus 3. Limit as x tends to negative 3. And x into bracket x plus 3 plus 1 into bracket x plus 3. So yeah guys, I can see that the common factor x plus 3 has been cancelled. So I will write the reason. Since x tends to negative 3, x is definitely not equal to negative 3, and therefore x minus of minus 3, which is nothing but x plus 3, should not be equal to 0. So yes, we have cancelled the common factor of x plus 3, and now as usual I will apply my limit over here, and now when I apply my limit I will get this is equal to 1 upon minus 3 plus 1, which is just a simple negative half. So in this sum, once again, if you substitute the limit value 0, you will get 0 plus 0 in the numerator, as well as denominator will also become 0 minus 0. Numerator, if it becomes 0, that is not a big tension for us, so it is okay. But denominator, if it becomes 0, then we have to think of something else. So in this case, again I have to try to factorize that. But instead of factorizing, what I'll do over here is I will try to take out something common in the numerator as well as in the denominator. Let us see what and how. Limit as y tends to 0, y plus 8 multiplied by y square. So I'm taking y square common over here, as well as 3y square minus 16 multiplied by y square. So guys, when you just cancel off this y square element, you need to write the reason that y tends to 0. Therefore, definitely y is not equal to 0. We need not write the third point over here, that is y minus 0 is not 0, because already we have told that y is not equal to 0. So y minus 0 is same as y only. So you can just write up till here in this case. Now as soon as you cancel the common factor, you just have to apply limit. So you will get over here, this is 0 plus 8 divided by 0 minus 16, which is nothing but minus half. So the number 4 sum guys right there in front of you. As usual, I will just try to substitute the limit value over here. So in the numerator, it is going to be negative 2 into negative 2 minus 4 divided by negative 2 raised to 3 plus 2 into negative 2 square. So that becomes 4 minus 4 divided by minus 8 and plus 8. Does not matter about the numerator, but yeah, I can see that denominator is becoming 0. So because denominator is becoming 0, again I have to do the factorization, or I have to take out something common over here. Now factorizing this cubic equation is not so simple, so instead of factorizing, we will try to take out some element common. So if I take out this common value over here, it will become limit as x tends to -2. In the denominator, I will take out x square common. So in the bracket, I will get just a simple x plus 2. In the numerator, I will take out 2 common. So guys, if you take out 2 common in the numerator, in fact -2 as a common value, then again inside the bracket, you will get it as x plus 2. So as I know that the common factor up and down should be x minus of -2, and that is x plus 2 over here. Therefore, just cancel off the common factor and write the reason. X tends to -2. X is not equal to -2. Therefore, x minus of -2, which is x plus 2, is definitely not equal to 0. So now, when you apply limit, it will become -2 upon -2 square, -2 by 4, which is actually -half. So you can please write down the important formulas for the remaining few questions. Number 1, a square minus b square, which you already know, it is a plus b into a minus b. Number 2, a cube minus b cube, that is, you should know it is a minus b into a square plus ab plus b square. And the number 3 formula, which is a cube plus b cube, it is just the same, a plus b into a square minus ab plus b square. So this is a very simple way to remember these 3 formulas, and we will be applying this in our next question. So just take down this properly. In the numerator, if you substitute the value directly, I will get over here 1 raised to 4, that is 1, so 1 minus 1. Denominator, again 1 raised to 3, that is again 1, so 1 minus 1. Again the denominator is becoming 0, so I cannot just substitute the limit and get done with my answer. So once again I have to factorize this over here. How do we factorize? Let us understand. I will write this is equal to limit as u tends to 1. U raised to 4, I will consider this as u square the whole square. Minus 1 is nothing but again the same way 1 square the whole square. Denominator, u cube we cannot do anything, but 1 can be assumed to be 1 cube. So in the numerator, I will try to use the formula for a square minus b square. In the denominator, I will try to use the formula of a cube minus b cube. Just the same that I gave you in the previous page. Limit as u tends to 1. So this is u square plus 1 multiplied by u square minus 1 divided by, here it will be u minus 1 into u square plus 1 into u, that is u, plus 1 square, that is 1. So guys, if you observe the question carefully, I can identify that the CF, that is the common factor, will be u minus 1 over here, and that's ready in the denominator. But for the numerator, I have to get u minus 1, for which we have to factorize the second term for one more time by considering that 1 is nothing but a simple 1 square. So if I assume that 1 can be assumed to be 1 square, then in that case I will get this is equal to u square plus 1. I cannot do anything in this case, but here it becomes u minus 1 into u plus 1. U square plus u plus 1. So in this position or in this step, I will just common cancel off the common factor and I will write the reason. U tends to 1, u is not equal to 1. Therefore guys, u minus 1 is not equal to 0. And now over here, because the common factor has been cancelled off, I can now apply my limit value over here. So if you apply the limit, you will get this as 1 square plus 1, that is 1 plus 1. For the second term, it is directly 1 plus 1 divided by 1 square plus 1 plus 1. So that comes out to be equal to a simple value 4 upon 3. So third sum right there in front of you guys. Once again, as we always substitute the limit value, I will do the same thing over here. 1, 2 square, 2 cube in fact, that is going to be 8 minus 2 square 4, 4 into 4 that is 16 plus over here this is 4 into 2 that is divided by 2 square minus 1. So 4 minus 1 which is equal to 0 upon 3. Great. The denominator does not become 0 on direct substituting the value. So the best part for this sum is that we don't need to do any kind of factorization, any further solving. Straight away, I will write over here, apply limit. So whenever you come across this kind of a question where the denominator does not become 0, that in such a case, directly apply limit and you are done with the answer. So just as I wrote in the above case, I'll just write the same thing, nothing else, which is equal to, and this is 0 because division by 0 is not defined, but 0 upon any number is always 0. We know that already. Therefore, the final solution or the final answer for this function comes out to be equal to 0. So again guys, the sum number 2 is quite similar to what we did in the previous all the sums. The only difference is that up till now we were given only a single function. Here you are given two functions. But that does not matter to us at all. The working will be the same. I will try to bring the common factor, which obviously you can by now recognize that the common factor has to be x minus 3. Now the question is, how should I get that x minus 3? Looking at this element x cube minus 27, it is very easy to identify that this is in the form of x cube minus 3 cube, which represents nothing but a cube minus b cube. So let us try to factorize the second term. So if I do that, it will become limit as x tends to 3. Okay, before doing this, if anybody is wondering that why did I not substitute the value 3 over here, so by observation I and of course even you also can identify that the denominator 3 minus 3 is going to be 0 for the first term, as well as for the second term 3 cube minus 27, which is 3 cube minus 3 cube itself, which is going to become 0. So by observation, if you can identify and understand, it's not compulsory that you should substitute and show it, because you will not be getting any extra marks if you do that substitution or you don't do that. It is for our understanding whether we have to factorize or not. Here I did not directly substitute because by observation I understood. So even you, if you can understand that directly by observing the question, you don't need to directly substitute the value. Observe the question carefully and think over it whether the denominator is becoming 0 or not. If denominator is not becoming 0, then it is the best thing. Just calculate and leave the sum. But if it is not big, if it is becoming 0, then we cannot just directly calculate. So in that case, we have to factorize it. I hope I'm clear to everybody over here. So therefore, it is 1 upon x minus 3 minus 9x upon x cube minus 3 cube, just 27. I have expressed it as 3 cube. So limit as x tends to 3. I will write over here 9x divided by x minus 3 multiplied by x square plus 3x plus 3 square, that is 9. So in these both denominators, I am having the common value as x minus 3. So let me take that x minus 3 as a common value over here. So it becomes 1 minus 9x divided by x square plus 3x plus 9. So now by just taking a simple LCM inside the bracket, I will get x square plus 3x plus 9 minus 9x now solve it out. So plus 3x and minus 9x will become minus 6x and plus 9 divided by. So I am getting again two quadratic equations over here. But yes, I can obviously observe something very important. This is in the form of x square minus 2 into x into 3 plus 3 square. So this is obviously looking like a square minus 2ab plus b square, which is the formula of a minus b the whole square. So here it turns out to be equal to x minus 3 the whole square and x square plus 3x plus 9. I will just copy the remaining elements as it is, 1 upon x minus 3, and of course the limit element, limit as x tends to 3. Now here, if you cancel off the common factor, you have to write the reason that x tends to 3. So obviously x is not equal to 3, and hence x minus 3 is not equal to 0. Therefore, apply the limit. So here guys, if you observe carefully, on applying limit, it is becoming 3 minus 3 upon 9 plus 9 plus 9. Do not worry about the denominator. The numerator is 0. Therefore, the answer is straight away 0. So in this sum, once again guys, if you do the direct substitution, if you can understand by observation, it's great. But if you cannot understand by observation, no worries, you can still substitute the value. So I will get the value over here, 1 minus 8 into 2 cube, that is 1 upon 8, half minus 4 into, yes, again 2 cube will make it 8, so 1 upon 8. So over here, I can cancel off these both, so 1 minus 1 will become 0. If I cancel off these both, I get half minus half, which again becomes 0. Because the denominator is becoming to be equal to 0, therefore it becomes an indeterminate function. And once again guys, in this case also you have to do the factorization. So in order to do the factorization, I will write it like this. Limit as y tends to half, 1 minus 8y cube will be written as 2y the whole cube. And in the denominator, I will just take out this one of the y element as a common. So I will get 1 minus 2y the whole square. So this is how I am trying to simplify my function so that I can easily do the factorization. So now when I want to do the factorization, the numerator will be considered as a cube minus b cube. Denominator will be considered as a square minus b square. So limit as y tends to 1 upon 2, 1 minus 2y. I hope you guys remember the formula. It was like this: a minus b into a square plus ab plus b square. So I am writing a minus b as 1 minus 2y, and for the second element it is 1 square 1 plus 1 into 2y, that is 2y, and plus b square, that is 4y square. Denominator is quite simple: a plus b, a minus b. So I am just writing it as 1 minus 2y into 1 plus 2y. So just observing, it's understood that the common factor has been cancelled over here, and I will write the reason. Y tends to half. Y is obviously not equal to half. Therefore, y minus half, which is nothing but here coming out to be 2y minus 1, but we are having it as 1 minus 2y. So adjusting the minus sign, I can still say that this is not equal to 0. So I can directly apply the limit over here. So if you apply the limit, you will get it 1 plus 2 into 1 upon 2 plus 4 into 1 upon 2 square, which is 1 upon 4, divided by 1 upon 2 into 1 plus 2 into 1 upon 2. So here it will become, these numbers will get cancelled off. So this is 1, again this is 1. So this is half into 2. So cancel off these both numbers. So ultimately the answer comes out to be equal to 3. So again a similar question in the numerator as well as in the denominator. I am having a quadratic equation. So if I substitute the values of the v variable directly in its respective position, root 2 square in the first place in the numerator is going to be equal to 2, plus second is v root 2. So again root 2 into root 2 is nothing but root 2 square, which is also 2, minus 4. Denominator v square minus 3v root 2 plus 4. So this becomes 2 minus 3 into 2 plus 4. Numerator obviously looks like 0 only. Denominator is nothing but 6 minus 6, which is also 0 over here. Because the denominator is 0, again it becomes an indeterminate function. So again I have to factorize the numerator and denominator. But like we did in all the sums, I will not factorize numerator and denominator together. But here, because it is a square root element, so it becomes slightly uh, difficult for many students to solve it directly. So let me do it separately, and then we will combine them both and substitute them over here. So let us see what we can do. I will write over here separately, consider the first element or the numerator element, v square plus v root 2 minus 4, and I will find out the required product and the sum. The required sum is just a simple root 2, and the product required over here is 4 with a negative sign. So I can break this 4 by saying that 4 is nothing but 2 into 2. But if I use the factors as 2 and 2, I will not be able to get the value as root 2. So any one of the two factors, I have to break it further into root 2 and root 2. And this 2 comes down over here as it is. So now guys, if I just combine these both elements and I leave this element alone as it is, I can obviously say that 2 root 2 multiplied by root 2 is going to be 4. But I am interested in negative 4. So I will just give a negative sign to the greater number. Then it will become negative 4. But if greater number is given negative sign, the sum becomes negative, which will not be acceptable. In order to avoid this problem, I have a simple idea by giving the negative sign to the smaller number. So greater number, if it is positive, the sum becomes positive and the product becomes negative as per our requirement. So I will write this as v square plus 2 root 2v minus root 2 into v minus 4, which I can write it as v is a common value. So I will get v plus 2 root 2 minus root 2 into bracket v plus 2 root 2. So what do I get? V minus root 2 into v plus 2 root. So guys, that's about your numerator. So now let us see the factorization of the denominator. I will say over here, consider so it's a same kind of a question. The sum required is negative 3 root 2 and the product required is 4. The factors will be the same, 2 into 2. Again split up root 2 into root 2. Let these two come down as it is. Again take these elements as together one element and root 2 as a separate one. So if I take 2 root 2 plus root 2, the sum will be satisfied, which is 3 root 2. But the sign does not get satisfied, which requires a negative 3 root 2. So in that case, if I apply a minus sign to both of them, definitely the sum will become negative and the product of negative into negative will become a positive 4. So yes, the sum and the product both have been satisfied if I consider both the factors as a negative number. Therefore, I will write this as plus 4. Take out v common, v minus 2 root 2, again v minus 2 root 2. So this is going to be equal to v minus 2 root 2 multiplied by v minus root 2. Very simple. Now guys, I will just try to substitute this in the required function. So I will say the required limit is limit as v tends to root 2. So guys, in place of the numerator, I will be substituting this function, and in place of the denominator, I will be substituting this function. So I will get it v minus root 2 into v plus 2 root 2 again denominator, as I told you, it is v minus 2 root 2 multiplied by v minus root 2. So I can observe that the common factor can be cancelled over here. So we will write the reason saying that v tends to root 2, v is not equal to root 2, is not equal to 0. So guys, if you apply the limit, you will get root 2 plus 2 root 2 divided by root 2 minus 2, which is 3 root 2 divided by minus root 2. तो रूट टू कट हो जाएगा, तो ये तुम लोगों को आंसर मिल जाएगा -3.